Welcome back, everybody, to Monster House GBA. We're gonna keep moving along, take pictures of walls as well, and we're going to, of course, move on with the game. What we need to do now is pull these chains so they're even with each other. If I don't do it quick enough, then the door will not open. Not gonna open this time because I wasn't quick enough. We'll try again and should be able to open the door this time. See? That's ominous, of course, but we'll be dealing with her in a moment. So, but for right now, we need to find some stuff. I do have to say that I really can't believe how slow some of these characters are. Obviously the Chowder character, who's bigger, we'll just say bigger, you know, he's gonna be, of course, slower because he's supposed to be more of like a tanky character, take more hits, but is also slow, so he's more likely to take the hit, whereas Jenny is faster, so she's better at evading hits, but she can't take very many, so she's like a maybe not a glass cannon, maybe that's not the right word, but you know, she does a lot of small damage very quickly. And that's a water bottle that that'll fill up automatically when I go into the bathrooms. So just a bit of clerical work as we continue along. I was wandering around the mansion and got lost, so a couple times actually, so there's going to be some edits in the upcoming footage in order so that we can eliminate some of that dawdling. So I'm also really surprised how little the upgrades seem to do. I mean, they give me, you know, with what is it, PJ or JP, they give me more range, which is great, you know, thumbs up, but supposedly also a boost in my power. Very not noticeable, you know, so I don't know. My complaint, I guess, that I'd want to be more powerful, but at the same time, this game's designed like a classic survival horror where, you know, you're just fast enough to kind of outrun most of the enemies, if not all of them, but you're intentionally designed to be slow and a little bit clunky so that it can add to sort of the horror and suspense. Like, Chowder can barely walk faster than most enemies, but he can't walk fast enough to really create much distance between him and other enemies, so oftentimes you have to wait for their wind up when they're going to hit him in order to make any sort of reasonable spacing between him and the enemy. And he does, if you charge up his blast, he does have the ability to knock the enemies back a little bit, but it's kind of like her where she doesn't do a very good job of that either. You can see she kind of holds them in place, but in other cases, you'll see that a lot of the enemies will just keep advancing on her, even though they're in her line of sight. You know? I don't know. I'm a big fan of balanced characters like, you know, JP. He's not the fastest. He doesn't have the fastest, you know, shooting, you know, gun. Does decent damage. You know, isn't the fastest, obviously. I don't know. Like I said, I like the you know, the more balanced character with, you know, her being sort of my pocket character, you know, to have in the back pocket if I start to run low. and then cycle between those two, and then have Chowder as sort of a... he's kind of a worthless character because he moves so slowly, and his weapon isn't all that powerful that it makes up for a lot of his deficiencies. It's just, he's sort of a tank. You're supposed to move slowly and not really have to worry about your health too much. But, you know, again, once he loses the health, you know, it doesn't matter that he has 6 health. You know, it just ends up, you end up having to grind out some more of the candy so that you know, they can be usable. You know, getting back up to health, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Doing a good job falling off here. These guys haven't targeted me down. They make a buzz noise that usually indicates that they've targeted your character and they're going to be homing in on them. I guess these guys aren't programmed to do that. But what we're looking for right now is a set of gears. Once we get the gears, we can go back and start the elevator. What we are looking for, as far as I know, this doesn't do anything. I'm gonna, you know, attempt in the off chance that it, you know, gives me some sort of secret, but as far as I can tell, I've killed all the guys in this room, you know, turned off all the lights, and it didn't really do anything for me, so I don't know. I do like how I'm sure you noticed the fake enemy doors, or the fake doors that turn into enemies. I do like that. That's a nice, like, mimic thing where, you know, you introduce halfway, after spending, you know, a quarter of the game or half of the game, you know, going in and out of doors that aren't open like the one that I just went through, you know, but you actually physically have to open them. You know, you start to introduce the mimic mechanic to, and then, you know, you still have doors that open and close, you know, like normal, but you also have the mimic doors that'll respawn. So you have to sort of memorize which doors are and are not mimics. Which isn't too hard. But, because, you know, you only get bit once before you never forget where the mimic is. And each enemy has its own problems. A lot of them act like, I mean, a lot of these enemies act like bullet sponges. So it feels like, you know, you're just pumping. And these are the low level enemies too, might I add. There are higher level enemies that we've both run across and we will be running across in the future. But, you know, it just feels like even at this point where I'm supposedly powered up a little bit, they're like bullet sponges. And like, he doesn't do enough damage to really knock them back. That's 2 fully powered charges for him. And he did kill that guy, but I don't know. I guess that's worth it, but, you know, don't, you know, if you're not charging, then he's not as useful. You know, because he's not killing those guys as quickly is what I'm trying to say. There. And he's very bad against these guys. You need someone more like the other two. Jenny and JP to sort of take these guys out because, or DJ, because you can't get enough shots off to sort of neutralize, you know, what the door's spitting at you. Chowder might be okay against those guys because you can get in and out, you know, duck and weave, jab and weave, or whatever the proper term is, but he's actually really good against these guys. You have a charge shot ready, he will kill those guys in one hit. So it helps you save some water instead of continuing to hold the button and, you know, wasting some water. Another thing I discovered recently is you can only hold a maximum of 4 health regenerations. So I can hold either 4 candy bars, 4 cans of soda pop, or some combination of candy and sodas. You do not get to store up more sodas after you get past 4. You do not get candy in addition to soda in 2 different, you know, storage places. So, I need to grab that. So I likely wasted a candy there. Because I'm pretty sure I'm full up on, after that soda, I'm pretty sure I'm full up on my stock, so that just disappears from the game forever. I do like how these guys have their own, like, unique weapons. Like, his is the camera, and Jenny's is the slingshot. And then I'm sure Chowder's got one as well that we haven't gotten to yet. And they all get, you know, they all get the ability to use the walkie-talkie, and, you know, they all have, you know, an individual flashlight, so I could have flashlights on all 3 characters without having to take it off one character and put it on another. You do have to back up a little bit for these guys, because they walk so far forward before they start attacking. So, gonna save here. Fill up our water. And then make our way in the circle of life, that is. So these enemies I really like too, in terms of you never know when they're gonna pop up, because most of the house is wood floors, so they can pop up at any point in the game. They could pop up in this room, the next room. They could pop up in every room if they wanted to. But the fact is, if you expect them to be in every room, then, you know, you're always just sort of like carefully moving along. And, you know, always making sure that you, like, take 2 steps forward and then see if, yeah, there's a thing there. You know, see if they're hiding out somewhere. But, you know, they'll use them in a room like this, and then they won't use them again for a couple rooms, and then they'll pop back up again, either with or without other enemies. So, I just think they're beautifully used in this game. You know, because if they, like I said, if they were in every room, you'd be looking for them in every room. But you have rooms that are, you know, not counting the bathroom, you have rooms where there's nothing in it. Or in this case, I've cleared out the whole room, so they've not respawned yet. But, that being said, you know, I can come back to this room later on and find out that they've respawned. Or, you know, I could go 3 or 4 rooms without... I'm just trying to nudge this up slightly so I don't push it in the corner like I did last time. Which is easier said than done. Because I wanted to move it just far enough without pushing it too far. So like I said, they can pop up anywhere. And like I said, if they're in every room, you expect them. But you'll have rooms where there's nothing. Rooms where there's, you know, regular enemies. And then you just pepper these guys in randomly into rooms. Not, you know, obviously purely random. Like, you know, there's not a 20% chance they pop up in this room. And like a 30% chance that they'll pop up in the next room. Or 50% chance or whatever. It's just sort of random in that regard. But, you know, fuck me. I screwed this up again. Because I don't got enough surface space to push it. To adjust it, so I have to go back and reset the puzzle again. Because I can't fit there through there, I can't push it to the right hand side. So I can't push it back to adjust it back here. And I can't push it, you know, to the right, you know, to get it back into, you know, the position I want it to be in. Fucking blows. What else? On a more personal note, I am making my still, as I've been talking about all year, I'm still making my way through the Bible. Still not, I am within a quote-unquote stone's throw of the New Testament now, which is good because it's mid-October and I need to be getting through the New Testament. I wouldn't say quickly, but, you know, because it only makes up about, I think, a fifth or a sixth of the Bible. But, you know, I'm past what is considered the Old Testament. I'm in the Deuteronomical books. So, like, I still have to read Maccabees, which is going to be the last, Maccabees 1 and 2, which is going to be the last big section that I have to go before I hit the New Testament. And then I know there's also some additional books that aren't counted in the Catholic doctrine per se. Like, I think it's called Sirach or something, or Sirach. He's got sort of, you know, whimsical, whatever you want to call it, musings on, you know, his thoughts and things, and or whatever they call those, parables, you know, like, you know, not like don't look a gift horse in the mouth or something, but, you know, stuff like, you know, you commit adultery, you're going to probably get beat up by everybody and stoned to death, because as clever as you think you are, you're not that clever. So you're gonna more than likely be found out, and when you're found out, you're gonna get punished. And in this case, usually results in you dying. You know, murder someone, death. And eye for an eye, you know, that sort of Code of Hammurabi stuff. And then, you know, adultery. Big sin. Just like, you know, you could murder someone, take a life, give a life, doesn't matter. You get to die for that if you're not legally married to that person. And I get the concept where it's like, okay, you know, particularly even today, you know, what's the proper punishment for someone who, you know, violates a woman against her will, you know? Well, you know, different people's, you know, different countries have different laws even today. Like in the United States, I think it's a very long prison sentence. In other places, it's like 5 years. This seems a little short for me, but, you know, it's... Alright, we found the gears. We can go back and put those gears in and move our thing along. All pieces come together. You just have to go back to the elevator and place the new gear. Be able to travel to the furnace. Fortunately, unfortunately for us, you know, this game is not a 1 hour game or a 2 hour game. Like a 4, 5 hour to 6 hour to beat game. So even if I was speeding through this as quickly as I possibly could, it'd still take me about 3 to 4 hours at the very minimum to get through this game. So we can be quite sure that we're not quite to the point where the game we're, you know, right on the cusp of finishing this game off, so. Yeah, trying to check the door and make sure it's not a monster. I can see through to the other side, but it doesn't guarantee that there's not, you know, a mimic door there. Alright, there's nothing in here. Right now, anyways. So I'm clearly missing some sort of upgrade to somebody in order to, you know, move on. You know, to basically solve those rooms, is what I'm trying to say. You know, there's obviously... Hey, look, he was looking at me. Who? Nevercracker, he was spying on me with his telescope, look. I could see your bedroom from here. Uh-oh. That's just creepy. Yeah, creepy, not... This house is creepy. That guy is just a pedophile. Or what? However he justifies looking through my window with a telescope that you would use to look at, you know, Saturn. You know, the rings of Saturn with. But whatever. Gotta go fight some guys. Gotta try to use chowder, because we are not using him at all. That's why we don't use him. Has to tank those hits. Not ideal for you, chowder. You've got more health than everybody else, but not significantly more. And you're 5 versus 4 versus 3. But you're not doing enough damage for this to really make a lot of difference, and you're not fast enough either. Fascinating. Alright, well that should have procced that guy there, but he's not fighting me, which means that I've locked this room down and I gotta come back later on when I have the ability to get, you know, to not get spotted by the windows. So this is what we call a fountain, a boss fountain. They're giving me a bunch of health items right before what I assume is a boss that's going to be beyond the door. Because I've just gotten a total of like, I think 6 or 7 candies there. Plus they gave me the key to the door that I'm standing right next to. Yeah, there's like 10 or 12 candies in this room alone. It's very strange. That means there's a boss on the other side of that door. Great. We even got a save spot here too, so you can save. If you die, you just pop right back here. The short run from the bathroom to this door. Anyways. This place is creepy. What's in the middle of the room? We didn't point this out earlier, but yeah, we're gonna point it out now. A woman, a huge woman. Nevercracker's wife's bigger than him. Did he eat her? With cheese and crackers, that's what I would say. That's not a woman, it's a mannequin. Nevercracker's wife? I don't know the story behind Monster House, but I think it has something to do with like his wife or something possesses the house, and that's why, you know, it keeps... I don't know if it doesn't like children or what the story is. I know the guy himself is supposed to be sort of like a creepy fucker. And I'm going to die. That was very quick. It was a very quick death I just had there. So I need to put out the candles there and not take damage like I just did. Let's give that another try. Fortunately, I'd go through the cutscene again, so let's just mash through the dialogue. It's a huge woman! The giant woman, you know. Because all I want to do is turn this giant woman into a pile of mush. Alright, so once you take care of all the candles, gives you the ability to hit her then. Interesting. Not doing a very good job taking the candles out. Okay, I lied. I just took out 3 in like 1 second. I do need to back off of her when I'm hitting her, though. Chowder, you are worthless as always. Chowder, you did literally nothing to help me there, bub. He's gonna die, and I'm gonna get a game over again. I somehow stunned her again, but it didn't use... Alright, let's try that again. So this time, we're gonna use our candies and our sodas so we don't die. And if we need to, we're gonna use some water. In a water bottle that I have. Spare water bottles. So let's do that. Now Cheddar just wants to make a giant woman wet, you know? And that's what all kids want to do. They just want to make a giant woman wet. Make her wet. Doing great with my water management right now. I've used up like almost half of my water now. So yes, I've used up 2/4 of my water and I've only damaged her once. And I almost all my water. There we go. That's what I like to see. This is my backup person. She dropped candy, so that's great. I'm gonna back off for a little bit so she doesn't do damage. Alright, I need to strafe the other direction. Alright, let's use a candy bar here. Great. All the damage there. Running out of water with her too. Great. Got caught on the door. I'm gonna switch over to Bobo here in a second. Okay, Bobo doesn't like it. Okay. Over to our soda can. Have that storage as needed. Alright, I'm at full health again. So let's not die. We're so good. Grab a little water, since I'm running out again. Alright, we did it. We killed her. Super Peppermint Power. Gives DJ, Chowder, and Jenny 1 extra life point. Sweet. That'll be super helpful now. But I'm sure enemies are going to get stronger, so I don't know if I'll be running into more stronger enemies or what, but I know they'll probably take more, you know, instead of taking instead of taking half damage, I'll probably start taking, you know, 1 full pip of damage from the powered up enemies. Depending on what it is, I guess.